Whether you're a foundation or a nonprofit that disperses funds, Salesforce's Outbound Funds module helps grant makers of any kind track, manage, and deliver their funding programs. Increase visibility into your grant lifecycle and financial commitments by tracking funding programs, grants, disbursements, and relationships, all in a single system. With increased visibility in your grant lifecycle and financial commitments, you can spend less time on tedious processes that bog you down and more time on driving your philanthropic mission. Let's check out our funding programs, the Future Focused Learning Initiative that is part of our education program. This funding program record is how we will track and understand where we are allocating our grant budget, as well as track all of the associated requests for this program. The Program Analysis tab gives us insight into how much budget is remaining and available for other requests that have come in. From the Funding Request tab, we gain a view into the other requests that have been submitted, awarded, or declined for that program. Now, let's dig into the request form Config for Change in this program area. This organization found and applied for this grant that's part of the Future Focused Learning Initiative. We're then taken into the funding request. Here's where we see an overview of the grant request, including what stage it's in. Let's go ahead and update the purpose of this request to align with the classifications we use internally for our grants. In this case, the population we serve are children and youth and economically disadvantaged people. Additionally, let's establish who is involved with this request besides the applicant. We know from interactions with this organization that Timothy Baldwin is the main finance contact for this request, so we'll add him to this request. Now, we're going to fast-track this request for approval and update the status to awarded. This will kickstart the process for getting the grant started and will update the awarded amount. With the grant approved, we can set the schedule for future disbursements of this grant in a few clicks. We can also set requirements for disbursements. In this case, we want to receive an initial progress report from the grantee prior to releasing a payment. Let's now take a look at the reports that come pre-built with Outbound Funds module. From here, we can analyze and track data about our programs, requests, disbursements, and requirements. For example, the Requests with Open Disbursements report tells us our forecast of upcoming and overdue payments. As you can see, all of the rich data we have collected can help us plan and support data-informed decision-making. Now, with Outbound Funds module, grant makers of any kind are able to quickly get up and running to manage both their relationships and the core processes of grant making.